little bit of the wind picking up a little bit here at Candlestick Park.
I'll tell you what, when they eventually blow this place up, I want one of those seats. I want one of those seats. I want to put it in my office, in my game room, and I want to chill.
But didn't you tell me they're selling these seats for how much?
I think it's a lot of coin, and they're probably going like hotcakes. Why wouldn't you want a piece of this history?
You know how it is, Tim. Suddenly there's a sentimental feeling about this place. But up until that point, people hated it. Brendan Holiday deep in his end zone. Schmidt will do the kicking to him as the Broncos offense has done absolutely nothing. That touchdown on the board was scored by the defense. Holiday grabbed and thrown down by Osgood. So, you know, Osgood has had a good game today. I mean, guy looking to make a statement, but he'll make his living on special teams as he has up to this point. Three-time Pro Bowler, Tim.
Did you see what he was doing there? He's checking his heart rate. See him looking at his watch and holding the pulse on his neck. He has been such a stud for 10 years. And really a rental on a lot of teams because you know that he is going to give you this type of impact plays. See him checking that heart rate? He's probably going about I don't know. That was the first play of the half. He's probably somewhere around $120 or less.
So Osweiler will start at quarterback. He has been there ever since Peyton Manning left after the opening series. No Sean Marino. Wilhoit stood him off after a nice play initially down low there.
That's how it's supposed
Harris
to work.
Harrelson.
That's how it's supposed to work. Front side, it was defended perfectly. Ian Williams is out there. Dorsey is out there. And Wilhoit in this 3-4 defense, you stack behind that defensive line. As you'll see him right here, just stack, and then he's going to have good vision. He's going to see the cutback, and he's going to go get it.
Yeah, Patrick Willis was asked which player in camp has caught your eye, and he singled out Michael Wilhoit. And that's about as good as endorsement as you're going to get. Not much there. Nice job again by Paris Harrelson to sort of bottle that one up.
Paris is a little bit rusty after not playing last year. I mean, that's a play typically, Dennis, as he just whipped the offensive lineman. He's typically going to make that tackle for loss. Takes a real nice inside gap charge, and then really unable to break down and corral the running back.
Yeah, C.J. Anderson, by the way, is in the game for the Denver Broncos, who had that football, carried it right there, the Vallejo product, who went to Cal, and he remains in the game alongside Osweiler on 3rd down and 9. 49ers 4th best in the NFL on 3rd down defense, and that's Anderson, Vallejo product. Not much going on there. It'll bring up 4th down.
Well, and that trend continues. Even with the second and third teamers out there defensively, the Denver Broncos have only converted 1 out of 8 third downs.
Well, Wilhoit entering his 2nd season with the 49ers after being promoted off the practice squad. And Willis also noted his special teams work. So excellent game so far for Michael Wilhoit. And the 49ers should get the ball in great field position, as Parrish Cox, who also already has a long return, standing inside the 50-yard line. Take the fair catch at the 49 of the Broncos, and that's where the 49ers will take over with 12:57 left to go in the 3rd quarter. They trail 7-3.
Stuff by the defense. The defense, every player defensively for the most part has played well today. Denver doesn't even have 115 yards of total offense.
Now you're right, starters and reserves defense has been outstanding. Tolzien at quarterback, and it's Anthony Dixon. Nice hop down to the 45-yard line inside the 45. Jammer came up to try and make that stop, and Dixon hopped right over him for a pick of a 5.
Well, you love about the 49er run game, and here it's a power. You're going to see the guard, the tackle, the tight end, everybody pulling out in front. And you'll take 4 or 5 yards every run if you can get it. But the beauty of the 49er run game, Dennis, is to me the most complex run game in pro football in terms of the volume and versatility. Really hard for defenses to get a beat on what the 49ers are running. So much.
Yeah, so many different looks in that backfield, and that was intercepted. Boy, threw it right into the arms at the 35-yard line of Kayvon Webster.
And Tolzien wants it incomplete. He's shaking his hand at the official that he didn't catch that. That is a bust in terms of the route runner, or Tolzien just didn't see it. He threw it right into coverage.
So the rookie with the interception off Tolzien, and the 4th turnover for San Francisco.
Dennis, here's the interception, and really this is what preseason's for. You got Chuck Jacobs going here. You got Garrett Selleck running there. Somebody's running the wrong route because they both hook up in the same spot. Now, still no excuse. Tolzien just can't throw that. And you got 3-on-2 right there, and Tolzien lets it fly. Got to love the fact that he'll just pull the string and let it go, but right into coverage. And again, the receiver, somebody was off there.
Yeah, the 4th turnover. And Parrish Cox comes up to make a nice play on Gerald Robinson, who makes the reception. But Cox having a whale of a game, a loss of 3 yards.
And I really think when you talk about the loss of Chris Culliver to the ACL, it's going to be a combination of Parrish Cox and Trumaine Brock, and then we'll see what Eric Wright can do as that 3rd corner. And you know what? At the end of the day, with the 49ers, they're going to score points. They're going to be up in games. Your nickel defense, Dennis, your three corners are on the field more than, you know, that extra defensive lineman when you're in base personnel.
Thomas, the intended receiver, I don't think he ever saw the ball coming. Reed came up to pop him, but I don't think he ever looked for the football. Countdown to Levi Stadium has begun. Book your own tour at Levi Stadium Preview Center or book a Levi Stadium experience by visiting levistadium.com today or by calling 415-GO-49ers.
That stadium is going to be awesome. It's unbelievable how fast that thing is going up.
And it's right, I mean, you walk right outside the 49ers practice facility and into that stadium. Third down, Osweiler, look out. Paris Harrelson is having a good football game tonight, Tim. I know he missed all of last season. You said he's a little rusty, but he is penetrating. A loss of 5 yards.
You're going to see him coming from here, and then good push up inside from Dobbs. There's nowhere for Osweiler to step up, and a good job by Paris Harrelson just staying relentless and finishing on the quarterback. Again, interesting to see. And Trent Baalke and Jim Harbaugh, they're going to keep the best 53. If that means 4 outside linebackers, that's what it means, and Paris will be on this team.
Cox takes the ball to the 24-yard line. He's already got one nice return. Look at Paris Cox on special teams in the return game up to the 39-yard line. 10:59 left to go, 3rd quarter, 7-3 Broncos.
Who would have?
All right, back here at Candlestick Park where the 49ers are trying to make something out of this 7-3 deficit. It is an element of leadership on this team. Every time, I know there have been 4 turnovers, every time Tolzien and Colt McCoy have come out of the game, they've gone right to Colin Kaepernick, who's just been in their ear, talking about what happened and how to correct it before they get right back in there. Back to you guys upstairs.
Yeah, which is amazing when you think Kaepernick really is just his 3rd year, and he was asking Alex Smith the same questions a year ago. Tolzien hands it off, and it's Dixon to the 40-yard line. Not much going on there. Amame is on the rookie guard out of Michigan, 6'4", 305, and Tim, you were talking about him earlier, but the interesting story about him is that Jim Harbaugh went to his old stomping ground at Michigan and asked Patrick if he would snap the football a few times. So Harbaugh lines up at quarterback, took a few snaps, and watched Amame at tackle and guard, and then that's why they wanted to sign him as a free agent.
Well, Jim's still a player in his heart. You know that.
Oh.
That guy will throw for the workouts. Absolutely.
He is, I mean, Jim Harbaugh is so involved at 49ers practices. The intensity's there. He's just fun to watch. He's in the middle of the huddle every time.
Oh, Jimmy lives it now.
Oh, man.
Jim absolutely lives it. I asked him before the game, how are you doing body-wise? You in shape? He goes, I'm doing all right. I know last year he was at an all-time low. So busy, and he always worked out so hard. I'll tell you, Adam Snyder right there, his versatility, I think, is a welcomed addition, getting him back in the fold here with the 49ers. Really, he just replaces Leonard Davis, and he's an upgrade in that department.
Looking for Chad Hall, incomplete. Wow, nice job defensively there by Omar Bolden, able to reach up and knock that one down.
Actually, a pretty good throw by Tolzien, who had pressure again, bearing down on him, and he lets it fly on the corner route. It was a good pass breakup, good coverage, man coverage.
I think Chad Hall would fit in as a nice slot receiver. He's small size. He's And he's quick.
Well, and so much of the game now, Dennis, with these wide open spread sets and the empty sets with no running backs, it's those slot receivers and the quick little in and out routes, the jerk routes are so effective in today's game.
Oh, wow, look at the tremendous coverage. That's Lockett on Trindon Holiday. Just ran down unblocked and clocked him.
Well, that's a freebie for Ricardo Lockett. I mean, what are you doing, Holiday, fielding that ball on the one and gets lit up by the Rocket Lockett, first one down the field.
I'll take it. And it's time for our Bud Light trivia question. Who scored the 49ers' first touchdown at Candlestick Park? I ran into this man the other day at a golf tournament in Pleasant Hill.
How am I supposed to know? I was 4 years old when they started playing here. 71, right?
That's no excuse. Ricardo Lockett, what a play, and he pins the Broncos down inside the 2-yard line, 7-3.
And if you're going to make a team as a sixth wide receiver, if they keep six, you absolutely have to have an impact on special teams. Well done by Lockett.
And that's going down, gets a little bit of breathing room.
Well, you can see Eric Reed is just a sure tackler, Dennis.
Yeah.
He's so skilled in terms of the long arms. He's a big-time tackler, and there you got to like the way he just filled the gap. I mean, his gap is right in between Tukuafu and I believe that was Paris Harrelson out on the edge, or no, Lemonnier. And Eric Reed, job well done. You got that backside gap in between the tight end and the tackle. That's yours. Go make the play, and he did it.
C.J. Anderson picks up 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Thomas, tight end in motion. Osweiler has not been able to move the Broncos. And it's C.J. Anderson again, and he picks up a couple of more yards, but it'll bring up 3rd down. Nick Moody makes the tackle for the 49ers, and Moody is the rookie 6th-round pick out of Florida State. Drafted really for his special teams expertise in college on both punt and kickoff. In fact, Jim Harbaugh said of Moody, he's one of the best coverage men in college football. And that's where the 49ers wanted to improve, Jim, immensely with special teams, and I think they've done that. They're down at 5.
And that's the beauty of the 3-4 defense, Dennis. You got more linebackers to choose from. Typically, you're going to keep more linebackers in a 3-4 defense versus a 4-3. Special teams coaches love it.
Fans come to life, cheering for the defense, and it's complete across the 10 to the 14-yard line. And it's caught by Tavares King. Michael Wilhoit makes the stop, but first down, 3rd down conversion for a first down.
And that's their 2nd of the game. Tavares King is in a battle now here with Antoine Caldwell to see who's going to get that number 4 receiver spot. He just presses it on Michael Wilhoit, and Wilhoit to the inside, Trumaine Brock to the outside, just sits in the soft spot of his own for the first down.
Anderson pulls forward for about 3 yards. Tony Jared Eddy makes the tackle for the 49ers.
Tell you, that's one area we talk about depth. This defensive line for the 49ers have got depth. There's going to be a good football player released by this 49er team at final cuts.
Well, he was on the practice squad, and when it was clear that Justin Smith was playing hurt, he was promoted to the active roster. Final game of the regular season. 2nd down and 6, a pickup of 4 yards for Anderson. He's got the football again, this time a much bigger hole across the 30 to the 35-yard line, and finally taken down by Parrish Cox. So the local kid making good for the Denver Broncos.
Well, they trade the tight ends and move everybody over here, and there's some confusion on the backside in terms of who's supposed to be the guy up inside in that gap for the cutback run. It looked like Moody got stuck inside. Hard to see there.
And Nick Moody is the injured 49er on the field back at the 22-yard line.
And that's all you count on, and for the cutback run game, is somebody over pursuing. And we always say you got to stay home. If you're on the backside, this is your responsibility. When the ball crosses the line of scrimmage and crosses your depth, now get on your horse and go get it. First and foremost, so you got to take care of your gap of responsibility. So the gap's right here. Yeah, they're supposed. I think they're supposed to be a safety up in there. Either Parrish Cox was supposed to come back inside, or somebody was misaligned from the pre-snap when they traded the tight ends.
This C.J. Anderson spent 2 years at Laney College before transferring to Cal, starting only 2 games with the Bears. And one Broncos writer called him a virtual unknown. But you keep making plays like that, you're not going to be unknown for long. And there's the good news, Moody able to put a little bit of weight.
Can you imagine if Denver, like Monty Ball and Hillman and all those guys, they get a real legitimate run game? And Willis McGahee was pretty good last year in his later years. But now you got to start really thinking about defending the run with Peyton Manning pulling the trigger as a quarterback, and that receiver core, Demaryius Thomas, Decker, and now Wes Welker.
Well, their passing game is so dangerous, Tim. You know, the run game wasn't where they wanted it to be, but Peyton Manning was able to use the short pass quite effectively last year.
Well, and everybody says Peyton can no longer drive it deep. He can drive it deep. Never had a great arm. He has certainly got the ability to still crank it 15, 20 yards down the field.
Play action by Osweiler and it's complete. A broken tackle. Stupar originally had him, but Thomas got away. Trenton Robinson finally made the stop at a pickup of 11 yards, and they'll move the chains once again.
Cam Johnson's got to see this. He's got his eyes closed. I mean, he's playing all that run action away, and it's just too easy for the quarterback if there's nobody in his face on those tiered routes out in front of him. Cam Johnson's got to do a better job of hemming Brock Osweiler up in the pocket and seeing the bootleg action.
Second-year linebacker out of Virginia. 6:25 left to go in the third quarter. 7-3. We've been stuck on those numbers for quite a while now. Anderson tries to get outside and does, and more running room for Anderson, who gets across the midfield inside the 49er 45-yard line. He gains 14 more yards before Marcus Cooper forced him out of bounds.
Remember what I said a minute ago about your gap of responsibility, and you got to do your job first. Lemonnier peaks here. You see him, he tries to come inside. You got to keep your outside shoulder free. You're the end man on the line of scrimmage. You got to force it all back to your help. He committed too early, crossed the face of the tight end, which opened a huge crease on the perimeter for the back.
Ball now at the 40-yard line. And Anderson cuts back inside, breaks the tackle, breaks another tackle, and gets near the 35. And it's taking a host of 49er linebackers to finally bring him down. He's 5'8", 224. He's a big load, but he can get low, Tim, and break some tackles.
Yeah, right back to the well. That's the same play. And now I know what happened, because Trenton Robinson is the guy who flew up into that gap, who wasn't there about 4 plays ago when they ran the same play. He just missed the tackle in the hole.
Second down and 5. Clock running with 5:12 left to go in the third quarter.
Every time I see Anderson on the back, the name on the back of that jersey, you think of the former Marine Mike Anderson. Remember him, the great
absolutely
Bronco running back?
He was a 6th-round pick that became a perennial 1,000-yard rusher here. That was Lance Ball in the game now for the Broncos. For complete 49er coverage, including the latest press conferences, player interviews, and more, go to 49ers.com. Drives 5 minutes and 30 seconds. They've completed 2 third-down conversions, and here's another one. 3rd down and 2.
See if they just run a quick explode route out to the right. There it is.
Nice time, and it's complete. Inside the 20, down to the 15-yard line. Reed, a beautiful hit on Camonte Bateman, but that's a first down.
When I think Osweiler had it, if he wanted the quick out, he sees it. He decides to come back to the crosser. Good throw, and then a good illustration of what Eric Reed's all about in terms of a big-time, sure tackler. He's got this. If he wants it, he waits for this to come back. Then the big hit comes up right here with Eric Reed.
So the Broncos threatening the ball at the 16-yard line on first down. And Anderson breaks another tackle. Stupar had it initially for a loss in the backfield, but he got away. Short gain. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Call it gain of 1. That was ball carrier. There's a man full of intensity, Tim.
Nobody better
Yeah.
in pro football. I mean, Rod Marinelli of the Dallas Cowboys, typically known, he was with the Bears last year, right, as their coordinator. He was a huge part of Warren Sapp's development and getting to the Hall of Fame. Probably more widely known as the best defensive line coach in the NFL. I have a hard time believing Jimmy Tomsula's not right there with him.
If you want to put a microphone on one guy at practice, give it to Tomsula. Incomplete. Paris Cox on the coverage. Pass was intended there to Gerald Robinson. So that'll bring up another third down, but Osweiler, I think he got off to an awfully slow start, but this drive he's been very impressive.
Well, nice job there holding on to the ball and looking at that outside linebacker, Cam Johnson, who's got the flat, held it long enough to let the receiver clear on the slant route. Well played by Paris Cox.
Crane, King, and Robinson at the top of your screen. They got 5 receivers on third down, and it's complete. King inside the 10-yard line down to the 7 before Michael Wilhoit made the tackle. It's a gain of 7 yards, and he's going to be shy of a first down.
Yeah, and this defense, I think, is starting to get tired. And run a crossing route, hard to defend, 5 out. What I love to do when you're going 5 out, rush 3 guys, keep 8 in coverage against those 5. 49ers rush 4, so it's 7 on 5 and a little crosser. The receiver flashed wide open.
So here you go. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 1. 2:25 left to go, third quarter. Broncos leading 7-3. This drive started inside the 5-yard line. Anderson breaks the tackle and gets very close to a first down. Anderson originally hit in the backfield again, but he is very close. He's done a great job, and I think John Fox has got to be impressed, Tim, with his running back, who is getting a lot on second effort. I mean, the Niners have gotten him in the backfield, and he's breaking tackles left and right.
Yeah, and this one's going to be really tight. This is a long drive. What happens when you get long drives? You see missed tackles. 49ers had a chance to get him for a play behind the line of scrimmage and get the ball back. He's short anyway. Well done.
By a matter of inches, the 49ers able to hold, and they take over. Wow, 2:07 left to go in the third quarter. The 49ers have it on down.
Well, John Fox has decided he wants to challenge this spot, and it's really close. It really is. So you're going to see here. Let's just watch Anderson as he does a nice job avoiding Stupar and Tony Giardetti. And that ball, the hand is not down. That's.
Watch his knee, Tim.
So the hand's not down there. Right there, he's down as he tried to pull the ball back inside. And there is no doubt, as I look at where the ball is spotted, that looks pretty accurate. Looked to me like he was about a half yard short of the line to gain for the first down. But why wouldn't you challenge it if you're John Fox in a preseason game down here in the red zone on 4th down?
Well, next week we'll be in Kansas City.
You know, here's another thing to think about as well. And I would love to get some clarification. I'm going to talk to Bill Levy, the head official, after the game. When a helmet comes off a player, Dennis, the play is supposed to stop.
The ruling on the field stands. Denver will be charged their first time out.
And you can see the offensive lineman right there. His hat came off, and he is playing without a helmet. Now, the caveat to that may be the ball carrier when his helmet comes off, or a defender converging on the tackle. I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure. But I know we just met with the officials down in Los Angeles, and they talked about that. As soon as the hat comes off, the play's supposed to be blown dead.
All right, Chuck Jacobs, the man in motion. 49er football deep in their own territory, and Tolzien trying to buy some time in a run, and he's pushed out for a loss. That was Nate Irving made a nice play. And it's time for our Bud Light trivia answer. Who scored the 49ers' first touchdown at Candlestick Park? He played for the 49ers and the Raiders, and it was Ted Kwolek, another great 49er tight end from John Brody in 1971. 49ers would later play in the NFC Championship game. Remember that one? Well, you don't, Tim. You were 4 years old. But the 49ers, devastating loss to the Dallas Cowboys. Anthony Dixon gets to the outside, buys some running room across the 10 to the 11-yard line.
That's really nice vision by Anthony Dixon. That hole was clogged up. The play designed to go inside. There was nothing, and he bounced it to the edge. I mean, here's where it's supposed to go. You can see the door's closed right there. He bounces it out and has enough juice to end up getting about 6 yards. The 49ers are going to get charged with a sack on the play before that, with Tolzien running out of bounds and getting hit behind the line of scrimmage. You're out of the pocket, nobody's open, throw it away. Just get rid of the ball.
3rd down and 6. Austin Collie is now in the game for the 49ers in the slot. And the throw, and it's complete. And that is the big tight end. McDonald's the 29-yard line. Nice toss by Tolzien. A gain of 17 yards and a 1st down.
And another helmet off. Steven Johnson that time. And you can, oh man, that's just a forearm shiver by the 2nd-round tight end, McDonald, knocking that helmet off. He is a skilled route runner, and you can see there with his length, Vance McDonald, the ability to go up and get it, the concentration to pull it in. This guy's going to be a really good player.
Flags into Dixon. Good time for Tolzien, and he throws, and it's Chuck Jacobs at the 49-yard line for another 1st down for the 49ers. Gain of 21 yards for the rookie wide receiver out of Utah State. Grew up in Richmond, California, stands 6 feet, 178 pounds. 1st down for the 49ers as we come to an end at the 3rd quarter. 49ers trailing 7-3.
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone.
And it's complete. Vance McDonald with the reception for the 49ers, and that's a 1st down for the 49ers rookie tight end, 2nd-round pick out of Rice. Big drink of water, pick 6'4", 267, and he gains 19 yards.
I saw this guy at the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama, and loved him. I mean, he's a former wide receiver. I think played a little quarterback. Just get him in man coverage on a crossing route right there, and he ran away from the defender. Very skilled.
Just dominated in practice a couple of days ago, and LaMichael James getting a lot of work for the 49ers. He is thrown for a loss by Duke Iheanacho.
And I think when you talk about Vance McDonald, the 2nd-round pick, along with Garrett Selleck, the free agent from last year in year number 2, Dennis, it's really going to take probably a complement of guys to replace Delanie Walker. You know, Delanie Walker was a huge part of this offense. He is now with the Tennessee Titans, and Vance McDonald in year number 1 in terms of Delanie being the brain glue and all the things he did mentally, it's going to be a tough chore. So I think he and Selleck together are going to have to try to fill that void.
I think that's a great point. Delanie's versatility, the guy who was in the locker room. Think about they lose 2 yards. That was intended for A.J. Jenkins, but McCoy was under tremendous pressure.
And Sean Phillips, who was a big signing here for Denver, took less money to leave San Diego in division and come to the Denver Broncos. Just turned the corner on Omame out there at right tackle. Nice signing for Denver.
Well, they might have lost Elvis Dumervil, but that's a pretty good alternative.
Yeah, and this guy, to me, is more multifaceted. I mean, Elvis Dumervil was a good rusher. This guy can rush in terms of Sean Phillips, and he's very good in coverage in the passing game as well.
3rd down and 12. A.J. Jenkins at the top here, at the bottom of the screen.
Got to start feeding him now.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't targeted him a little more on the blitz. McCoy gets away, and we talked about his ability to run. He was looking for Osgood, incomplete. Good coverage by Iheanacho. Iheanacho is having a heck of a game, the former San Jose State kid out of Sarah High School for the Broncos.
Well, no chance for Colt McCoy. It's a double whammy. He's going to get the pressure here, and then he's going to get the inside pressure, and Anthony Dixon doesn't see it. I mean, Anthony's stepping up inside, and he's looking for one of those inside linebackers who are trying to help out the interior offensive lineman, and the cornerback came scot-free. I think Colt McCoy didn't get a knockout shot.
So Andy Lee, 49ers punter since 2004, signed a 6-year contract prior to last season.
He doesn't have his pads in either.
No, I know. Tendon Holiday is going to let that ball roll into the end zone for the Broncos, and that's where they'll have it at the 20-yard line with 13:29 left to go in the first half here at Candlestick Park, and it's still 3-0 49ers. Welcome back, everybody. The 49ers leading Denver 3-0. The enthusiastic fans here at Candlestick. I think the conditions are pretty good. I mean, the old ballpark known for its blustery, windy conditions, but not this time of year. Tim, it's always pretty nice.
It's perfect. Remember last year early in the preseason, and by the time we got to the middle of the second quarter, the fog rolled in and it was freezing. Perfect night tonight.
So the Broncos trying to put some points on the board. First down at the 20-yard line. And making his first carry is Monte Ball. Picks up 4 yards. There's a battle, I think, Tim, for the running back position in Denver. And this guy eventually is going to get it. Ronnie Hillman right now #1 on the depth chart. But this rookie second-round pick out of Wisconsin, he is the future in that backfield.
77 touchdowns. I don't care how many carries he had at Wisconsin. John Fox loves those kind of guys, and hopefully we'll see him get matched up here on Eric Reed in the run game. We can see what kind of hitter Reed is.
Osweiler completes to Thomas, who gets the first down across the 30, and C.J. Spillman makes the tackle. Spillman listed, by the way, #1 on that depth chart at that position.
Well, he's going to make the team, Dennis, because he's a great special teams player. But I promise you, the skill sets of that dude right there, the first-round pick out of LSU, Eric Reed, they're going to show up before the opener against the Green Bay Packers. He's unbelievably gifted. He's one of those safeties that can cover, and he's super, super smart. You can see him communicating on the back end right there, which is a big part of being a safety. You got to be intelligent in terms of what you're seeing and what you're expecting.
Monte Ball with his second carry gets to the 33-yard line, but Dante Whitner was talking about his intelligence. He goes, hey guys, he's got a 4.6 GPA. And the 49ers.
How do you get one of those? How do you get a 4.6 GPA?
I don't think you or I would know about that, but they traded. Well, you're a USC guy.
Well, you know what we said at USC is athletes. They pay the fee, we get the C. Come on, Dennis.
Well, the 49ers traded up 13 spots with the Cowboys to get Reed, who was rated as one of the top safeties in the draft. Pick him up 2, second down and 8. Osweiler at quarterback for Denver. Look out, here comes Paris Harrelson from behind, and it's complete. A hard hit there. There is Reed. Get a little example of what Deshaun Goldson used to do, and Reed might be able to give you.
Well, and that's what they'll miss about Deshaun is his presence in terms of the intimidation. When you look at Reed, I think one thing that was interesting in talking to Dante Whitner about him, that's a body rocker, is he said this guy's notes are unbelievably meticulous. I mean, when he goes in there, he is truly a student of the game. And Dante said it's obvious just watching his note-taking better than most of the veterans Dante Whitner has been with in 8 years.
Not much gain there. Nice job by Spillman. And Reed has been impressed with how Dante Whitner and the rest of the veterans have helped him.
Man, I'm very fortunate to have guys like Dante around. Exactly like he said, he showed me the ropes. I feel comfortable when I'm out there on the field with him, communicating, and I'm just trying to get better every day.
Love the scab on the bridge of his nose. That tells you he likes to hit.
Yeah, he's working already. But you're talking about the note-taking, which was interesting, because Dante said initially, you're not taking enough notes or you're not taking them right. This is the ball again. It gets to midfield. That was second down and 11, so he gets some of it back. So it'll bring up third down.
I think one thing about these 49ers is the way they're built. It's about the line of scrimmage game. And Tuku Afu right there, he just gets drove off the line of scrimmage. I mean, he's rolled 5 yards off the line of scrimmage by Phillip Blake, a second-year pro. 49ers, they know that the line of scrimmage game is where it all starts. Tuku Afu's got to be better than that.
Third down. And then the 49ers, good pass rush. Osweiler throws, and it's complete. Complete out there to Julius Thomas for the first down. Nate Stupar on the coverage for San Francisco, but a nice job by Osweiler. He was under pressure.
Big time throw by Osweiler. Stupar was outmatched by Julius Thomas in man coverage. No doubt off to the right of your screen, but here's what they like about Osweiler is he'll hang in there knowing he's going to get rocked, and he throws a corner route right on the money.
Monte Ball, nowhere to go. Nice job by Paris Harrelson. Kind of strung the play out there, and coming up to help make the tackle is Stupar. And Paris Harrelson Obviously, very happy to be back. Injured last season after a torn triceps injury. But from 2007 to 2011, Tim, he started 68 games at outside linebacker, and he had 21.5 sacks.
It's going to be interesting if this football team decides to keep 4 outside linebackers on the roster, because I'm telling you, Lemonnier, the 3rd rounder, is going to make it.
Osweiler able to get away from the pass rush and not long enough. Paris Harrelson again makes the stop, and it'll bring up 3rd down and long. He picks up about 3 yards with that scramble.
Well, Tukuafu just made up for getting pushed in the run game. Nice job there. There's just nowhere for Osweiler to go with the ball as he gets back to the top end of his drop. Good coverage down the field. Tukuafu flushes him out of the pocket.
I like to call him Mr. Multi-Purpose. Currently listed as a fullback defensive tackle, but he does everything in the preseason. Third down for Denver. 3rd and 9. Osweiler, look out! Dan Scooter was in there, and there are flags. But Ian Williams able to push forward along with Dan Scooter.
Illegal formation. Number 71 is not on the line of scrimmage. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Yeah, Scooter, Tim, has made his living out of special teams out of Grand Valley State. But nice push from Ian Williams.
Well, that's the whole key, too, if you're an inside player, especially when the real guys are out there in terms of the outstanding pass rushers. That's a good job by Scooter, but they're typically, you get that edge pressure, quarterbacks want to step up. And that's why it's so critical that you get that gut pressure. Guys like Ian Williams and these defensive tackles getting good push right in the middle of the pocket.
Colquitt standing at his 40. LaMichael James at the 10-yard line. And he takes it at the 11. Not much going on across the 20 to about the 21-yard line, and 49ers will have the ball there. A punt of 37 yards. 7:59 left to go in the first half. Welcome back, everybody. The 49ers have their 3rd quarterback of the evening. Scott Tolzien, 3rd year out of Wisconsin, has a chance to get that number 2 job, Tim.
Well, it's a real battle between he and Colt McCoy and Jimmy Harbaugh. Coach Harbaugh will even tell you that B.J. Daniels is also in the mix. I think Tolzien, just pure conjecture, has got the upper hand, Dennis. I mean, he's a very good decision maker, and he knows this offense. That's a huge advantage.
Yeah, Harbaugh thought they stole him when San Diego let him go a couple of years ago, and he completes his first pass to Kasim Osgood across the 10 to about the 13-yard line.
He lost his shoe.
Yep.
And that's a good illustration right there of Tolzien in terms of his knowing this offense. Watch, he gets right to his back foot. The end of his drop, one hitch, the ball is out. He knows right where he's going with the rock, and it's to Osgood out on the perimeter on a little stop route.
Pick him up 9 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 1. Still looking to see a little bit more of A.J. Jenkins. He's not been, and it's fumbled the football in the backfield, and that's going to be a touchdown for the Denver Broncos. John Phillips is the man who picked it up, and it was D.J. Harper who fumbled for San Francisco.
Amame gave him no chance. Look at the penetration here by the Broncos. It's going to come right in your face. When you got a run going away and you're the backside offensive lineman, you've got to get that cutoff block. Harper had no chance. The Denver Bronco was in his face, the inside backer. Look right here. And you see Amame out there at right tackle, indecisive on where he was supposed to go. Not good.
Wow, a stunning turn of events for John Fox and the Broncos on a defensive touchdown, and the PAT is good. So it's 7:21 now left to go in the first half. The 49ers defense had been dominant.
Well, here's the big tackle on the forced fumble. Nate Irving right here. He's going to read the offensive guard pulling. He's on the weak side. He's just going to fly through there. And Patrick Omameh out at right tackle. He's got to go cut him off. Indecisive in terms of what he was doing. And Irving was on Harper right when he got the ball.
Now it's almost Sean Phillips, look what I found.
Now at the same time, that's a great play by Nate Irving. If you're Harper, you need to hang on to that football. He secured the handoff. You got to tuck that thing tight against your body.
Well, Nate Irving Nate is living on special teams. First 2 years in the NFL.
And he's in a real battle, and I think the battle's at middle linebacker for Nate Irving right there, number 56, for the Denver Broncos. That time, Dennis, he was playing the weak side outside linebacker position. At the end of the day, when they play for real against Baltimore, he could be right in the middle of that defense, and what they like to call the Mike backer, the middle linebacker.
It's interesting too about, I mean, I know John Fox likes to see that, Tim, because Denver was a 13-3, but they were -1 in the turnover category.
Unlike the 49ers, that takeaway number's got to go up.
There's Cox with the football. And it gets all the way out to the 40-yard line before Steven Johnson finally forced him out of bounds, but he returns it 34 yards. So the 49ers will have great field position with 7:13 left to go. They trail 7-3. Here's the three quarterbacks, and Jim Harbaugh told us yesterday in a meeting, Tim, that's wide open.
Behind Colin Kaepernick, absolutely, for the backup job. Colt McCoy didn't have a chance, Dennis. I mean, he was only 1 for 3, had the nice completion to Vance McDonald. But in terms of the protection, really no time for him to be able to throw the football. Patrick Amame out at right tackle is getting abused.
So the 49ers have good field position with 7:13 left to go in the first half. They trail 7-3 after giving up that touchdown. The defense spectacular so far. Tolzien under pressure, overthrows. He was looking for the tight end McDonald, but he was under pressure.
Yeah, rocked again. The offensive line, since Colin Kaepernick has left the game, I think one more series for the starters. Since then, it's been the backups, and they can't protect the edges. Malik Jackson turned the corner that time and got a nice hit on Tolzien and forced the ball out early. B.J. Daniels was in the game that play, playing some tailback, the quarterback.
Listed, yeah. Quarterbacks in camp. Daniels is one of them. Anthony Dixon now in the backfield. McDonald, the tight end, in motion. On second down, it's complete. A.J. Jenkins fumbles the football, and Denver recovers at the 45. Dixon makes the tackle, but A.J. Jenkins, who badly needs to make a positive impression in the preseason, makes the catch and coughs it up.
No, you feel so bad for him. Skill set wise, he does everything right. He's fast, he's athletic, he gets open. Here, I love the concept, just three-step, quick, get it out. He's got the ball, and then there's the forced fumble right there coming from behind. And look at how that ball is away from his body, never really secured it in terms of the high and tight tuck position. A.J. Jenkins has got to finish. That's not good for his confidence. Oh. Look at that, 0 catches as a rookie, Dennis. And I remember the game. They went to him, he dropped it, and they never went back to him. I mean, it's really all about his issue. To me, it's all mental. Physically, he's got it all going. It's about the mental part of the game, and most importantly, the confidence, and that lost fumble is not going to help.
Osweiler remains at quarterback for the Denver Broncos. And no Sean Marino with his first carry for the Broncos. Currently listed third on the depth chart, but no Sean Marino in his rookie season out of Georgia. He had a 947 yards, and it looked like he was going to be the next great Bronco. Didn't happen.
He actually made some pretty good plays last year, as you said, when he came back up off that injury. He'll make this football team. I like Lemonnier right there. Nice job for the third rounder. I think they're pretty excited with, out of Auburn, the third-round draft choice.
They give up 2. Here come the 49er pass rush, and Osweiler's going to go down. DeMarcus Dobbs, fabulous story to make this football team a couple of years ago. Makes the tackle along with Michael Wilhoit, and a loss of 7 yards.
I like the fact that they're coming with the inside pressure with both guys. That's the old cross dog blitz that Vic Fangio loves to call, especially when those outside backers really get going and the offensive line fan protects, which means everybody's turning out. It opens up those inside gaps in between the center and the guard. Nice job
down 18 again, pressure, and tried to dump it off to no Sean Marino, but nice defensive pressure that time for the 49ers defensive line. So it'll bring up fourth down.
I think one thing about Lemonnier that you always saw when you turned on the tape when he was at Auburn is that guy can anticipate the snap count, and he's got tremendous get-off in terms of his ability to be the first guy off the line of scrimmage, across the line of scrimmage, rushing the passer. I know they're real happy with him.
Chad Hall back deep to receive for San Francisco. Brookwood this time will not have the chance to down it inside the 10-yard line. Makes the fair catch at the 20-yard line, and that's where the 49ers will have the football. Time for our perfect combo, brought to you by Round Table, and there was no better combo here at Candlestick, or even in that Super Bowl in New Orleans. Montana to Rice, Super Bowl 24 against these Broncos. The two hooked up for 3 scores in a 55-10 rout. And I was at that game, Tim, and it was over within the first 10 minutes of the football game.
Crushed. That team of the 80s, the 4 Super Bowls, awesome.
Just domination sensation. Anthony Dixon, the ball carrier, picks up a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Terrence Knighton makes the tackle for the Broncos.
And it's that tradition, Dennis, of why the 49ers get everybody's best game when they play them. I don't care who it is. You always know you're not just playing this 49er football team, but you're playing the great tradition and legacy of the 49er franchise.
Well, there was a lull there for a while, but I think once again...
Nobody forgot,
no,
I promise.
No, they did not. Out of the backfield, and he let Anthony Dixon a tad too much, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Well, Tolzien last year in the preseason, Tim, statistically, he was outplayed by Josh Johnson, who came on so strong. And I remember in the postgame shows, we were trying to figure out how they could possibly leave Josh Johnson off the roster. And the point is that I don't think you can just look at statistics to figure out what Jim Harbaugh is going to do.
No, it's about trust, and most importantly, trust as a decision maker. Tolzien has proven he is a very good decision maker.
3rd down and 10, and that was dropped by McDonald at the 25-yard line. He was going to get clocked there and be short of the 1st down. And it'll bring up 4. David Bruton put the pressure on
Still
McDonald.
got to catch it, Dennis. I mean, he's coming on a crossing route, right on time, perfectly thrown. Good decision by Tolzien. Vance McDonald's got to hold on to that. Who knows what can happen?
Yeah.
Spin back inside, break a couple of tackles, and pick up a 1st down.
Andy Lee will stand at the 7-yard line, and it'll be good field position once again for the Broncos. They lead the 49ers 7-3 in our preseason opener here at Candlestick Park. Holiday, he's dangerous with the football. He missed. Finally, Dixon, the 3rd man, able to grab him by the ankles and bring him down at the 27-yard line.
Well, you remember Holiday from last year.
Absolutely.
He was with the Houston Texans, and he made a long house call against the 49ers in preseason. A lot of people around the league could not believe the Texans cut him. Their loss, Denver's gain. John Fox loves this guy.
Absolutely. He led the NFL with 32.5-yard kick return average, and 2nd in the league with the 10.8 punt return average. So they let a good one get away.
And it's plays like that for Anthony Dixon that keeps him on the roster. Well done.
Well, the Broncos have the ball at the 26-yard line. Osweiler still at quarterback. Peyton Manning opened the game on the opening series, but that was it. A cameo appearance from the future Hall of Fame quarterback. There's no John Marino moving the chains for a 1st down. C.J. Spillman was over there along with Nick Moody.
I'll tell you one area I think this 49er defense, and it's exciting. They got a lot of depth and some quality spots, but inside linebacker, Dennis, is not one of them. Patrick being out with the broken hand, of course, Navarro Bowman. They need to find out who that 3rd inside linebacker is going to be that they can count on game day.
Marino takes the football, tackled by Nick Moody.
So I think when you start looking at Will Hoyt and Scuda and certainly Stupar, Travis Johnson, all these guys are going to have an opportunity to make this football team. Will Hoyt, of course, active 5 games last year. His biggest contributions came on special teams, but they need another inside linebacker that they can trust, not just to play special teams, but to play defense if they have an injury.
Sean Marino again with the ball across the 40, gets up to about the 44-yard line. He'll be shy of a 1st down. Spillman in on the tackle. Well, you know, we haven't mentioned that Darius Fleming went down with that injury, and I think they were counting on last year's draft pick at linebacker to be a significant contributor there.
Well, and that right there is Will Hoyt. I mean, you look at Tukuafu, who was in good position. They played it well on the front side. force the cutback. Wilhoit's got to be right there sitting in that hole at the line of scrimmage to make the tackle for less than a 4-yard gain.
Caldwell lined up on the slot on 3rd down and 4. Under pressure, and he flushed out again. And Meunier pushes him out of bounds back at the 29-yard line, and it'll bring up 4th down. So another nice stand defensively for San Francisco.
Lemonnier did everything right, and what you like is that he was able to track down Brock Osweiler. Now, he just didn't finish. He did everything right as he comes inside. Osweiler's going to escape out the side door. He got held big time right there. Here's what you love. He's able to close the gap on the quarterback. Osweiler is a big dude. He just dripped off of him, but that's a nice job by Lemonnier.
Yeah, they moved up the 93rd pick to the 88 spot to get him out of Auburn. He was so excited that Jim Harbaugh called him, and he called him John during the post-draft teleconference. That's not going to score you many points, but making plays like that will. Jad Hall takes the football, a punt of 39 yards, and the 49ers will have it with 2:40 left to go, trailing 7-3. You know, the 49ers never spoke to this guy, Tim, prior to the pick, and Trent Baalke said the 49ers were trying to conceal their interest to get it.
Well, that's very common. I got drafted at the 61st pick by the Bears in 1990. I didn't have one conversation with Chicago till Mike Ditka called me on the phone.
What was your signing bonus?
I'm embarrassed to say, in comparison to what the money is now, $151,000 back then.
Well, it went a lot farther back there. There's Anthony Dixon with the reception out at the 25-yard line. He picks up 7 yards. Clock continues to roll at 2:30 mark. 49ers trailing 7-3.
And you see the trust here for the quarterback in terms of just getting it out. And that's what they're giving Colt McCoy now the opportunity to do, is just fire it quick. The offensive line's not protected. See, there he holds on to it. Now it's about improvising.
And it's complete. There are 2 receivers. It's Chad Hall who makes the catch. I don't know if he was looking for A.J. Jenkins or Chad Hall, but Hall's a beneficiary of that.
I think he was looking at both of them. One of them ran the wrong route because they're both sitting in the same spot. Colt McCoy again flushed out of the pocket, throws back against across his body. There's nobody around either receiver.
15-yard gain for Chad Hall.
Who would have?
Colt McCoy mix up in the backfield between McCoy and Anthony Dixon. McCoy goes down. Well, I was interviewing Vince Scully just a couple of years ago, and he was the voice on that call. And I asked Vin, I asked him about the catch. He goes, and he said, isn't it something that the Dodger announcer was calling the most famous play in the history of this ballpark? And that is dropped near midfield, but Anthony Dixon, I think there's going to be a penalty.
Yeah, there's defensive holding.
Athan is going to be called for a hold.
Pass interference, number 59 defense. First down, spot of the foul.
Yeah, it started with a hold, and then once the ball was in the air, it turned into pass interference. You'll see it right there.
How do you judge, Tim, if you are the 49er coaches with the trouble the offensive line is having? How do you judge the progress of the quarterback?
Well, I think what you got to judge is, number one, you can judge his mobility. He's getting away from most of the rush, and then his decision making.
And that one is incomplete. Chad Hall screaming that he was held at the 45-yard line, but no flag. Omar Bolden is the guy he claimed held him. But no penalty comes down on Bolden.
It's going to be a crossing route, a deep crossing route right there in man coverage. And A.J. Jenkins was the guy who would have benefited from the 2 defenders running into each other, and Colt McCoy decided he wanted to go to the out cut instead of the in cut in terms of the receivers.
2nd down and 10.
Full pressure here.
And McCoy throws it up top, and he's looking for A.J. Jenkins, and it's overthrown and intercepted by Mike Adams, the former 49er, with the pickoff. Jenkins was open momentarily. McCoy overthrew him, and that's the 3rd turnover of the day for San Francisco.
Well, and I understand you want to give A.J. Jenkins an opportunity, so you throw it up. He's going to come flash into this part of your screen. Mike Adams reads it the whole way. There's too much air under that ball, and it's overthrown, so A.J. Jenkins doesn't even really have a chance to go up and play defense.
Mike Adams played with the 49ers from 2004 to 2006. In fact, he started 10 games for San Francisco in 2005, but turnovers an issue clearly in preseason game number 1 for San Francisco. Osweiler throws it out, and it's complete. Good game across the 30-yard line. And that's Lamar Thomas with his first reception for the Denver Broncos. The rookie wide receiver out of Mexico picks up 13 yards. Nicknamed Flash for his speed, but he has only 29 receptions in 4 college seasons. So
Let's see what Glenn Dorsey has left. Top 5 pick. And come over in free agency from Kansas City. Let's see if there's any juice left for Dorsey.
Osweiler under pressure again and dumps it off. No, Sean Marino has the football, but he's tackled there at the 31-yard line.
And that's really one guy that needs to get it going when you talk about Glenn Dorsey. As I said, top 5 pick for Kansas City. There's no question the 49ers need another interior pass rusher. We all know what happened when Justin Smith went down at the end of last year and how that affected the pass rush on the inside. Right now, DeMarcus Dobbs has the best opportunity, but Glenn Dorsey's got to get it going.
Yeah, 5th overall pick, as you mentioned, in 2008. You know, his versatility, I think, works in his favor. He could play all 3 positions on that line, but he really was not an impact player there.
Well, I always thought he was better in a 4-man front as a penetrator. And of course, Kansas City drafted him, and they run 3 down linemen, which is a lot of head-up alignments and a lot of 2-gapping, where they don't penetrate. They're playing either side of the offensive line. And when they get into these 4-man pass rush looks, Dorsey's got to be able to get to an edge and get to the quarterback.
Clock ticking away. Let's see if the Broncos try and get it downfield, and that is incomplete, almost picked off. Nice coverage there by Parrish Cox. Cox had that big return, makes a nice play there, and Parrish Cox obviously trying to get a little bit more playing time than he did in when he played dime coverage in 2012.
Well, he's a former Denver Bronco as well.
Got that right. 5th round pick by Denver in 2010. He started 9 games that year, missed all of 2011. And they'll be content to give it to no Sean Marino. And there's a flag down at the 35-yard line.
I think Dorsey got held as he was trying to tackle Marino.
Holding, number 64, offense. Penalties decline, 4th down.
Phillip Blake, the guard center, 2nd year out of Baylor, called there.
Yeah, and there's Dorsey right there going inside. Good awareness by Glenn Dorsey, realizing it's going to be a draw play. He goes back to the inside gap and would have had a tackle for loss if he didn't get held.
So Chad Hall will receive what 49ers standing at the 24. Chad Hall, it's a good story. He signed to the 49er practice squad when Kyle Williams tore his ACL last November, Tim, and ended up being activated for the NFC Championship game. Some of the media were wondering, well, how could you activate Chad Hall and not A.J. Jenkins? Now with Crabtree out, I think Chad Hall's going to get another shot, maybe to stick around.
Well, I think that's one thing. I mean, you look at Austin Collie, who they signed. They've got Chad Hall. Marlon Moore comes over in free agency. They signed Lavelle Hawkins. I mean, all these guys are experienced. And to me, it's pretty interesting as they started to sign these guys over the last week or so, Dennis. Everyone's hamstring, A.J. Jenkins, all the guys, their hammies started to feel a little bit better. Bring in some competition.
Right. Well, I tell you what, Austin Collie.
I can practice today.
They worked him into practice pretty good this week, Tim. And experienced receiver like that, that'll make everybody feel much better. Chad Hall makes the reception, and Jim Harbaugh immediately signals for a timeout to pick up a 5 yards with 25 seconds left to go in the first half.
This is a very good throw here from Tolzien and a darn good catch, plucking it out of the air for Chad Hall. You know, back to Austin Collie. You think of this guy's first 2 years with the Indianapolis Colts with Peyton Manning. He had 15 touchdowns, Dennis. 173 catches. What you like about him is he's intelligent. I mean, this league is not about pre-snap and thinking what the play is. It's really about post-snap. As the coverage rotation changes, the quarterback and the wide receivers have got to be on the same page in terms of the route adjustments. Austin Colley's got all that working in his favor.
And he's only 27 years old. I mean, if he was able to stay healthy, Tim, he'd still be there.
Yeah, it's about the patella tendon and the concussions for Austin Colley. You're right.
25 seconds left. Tolzien throws, and it is complete. Osgood makes the catch out near midfield, stops the clock at the 49-yard line with 17 seconds left. David Bruton forces him out of bounds. Pickup of 9 yards.
And obviously, Osgood's got big size at 6'5", 220, but his impact on this team, Dennis, is going to come on special teams. In 10 years, 44 catches. I mean, he has been a special teams ace throughout his career.
Grew up in Salinas with the North Salinas High School. 3-time Pro Bowler, Tim, because of his special teams expertise. And a quick throw. Oh, he put that in beautifully to Osgood out at the 34-yard line. What a throw by Tolzien there. Mario Butler on the coverage.
And he, you know, most quarterbacks look deep to shallow. You're going to see A.J. Jenkins flash wide open across the middle of the field, but Tolzien's got his eyes locked down the field, reading deep to shallow, and slams it in there in front of a couple of defenders for the catch there for Osgood.
So the ball at the 35-yard line, 10 seconds left. Osgood and Jenkins, the receivers, and the throw quickly over the middle to McDonald, the tight end, and he's down at the 26-yard line with 5 seconds left. Mike Adams makes the stop, and Tolzien signals for a timeout. What a job by Tolzien. And you saw Harbaugh calling timeout back at the 40-yard line of the 49ers, and you know, he's treating this like a regular season game at this point.
What you like about it is it's a situation that you can't really script or predict. I mean, you love having this opportunity to manage a situation with the time and with the clock. We all know at the end of last year in the Super Bowl, it wasn't great, Dennis, with that final play and had a timeout hanging on the board, and they never used it. I promise you, they learned from that.
Yep. So Phil Dawson, a hit from 32. He's going to try here from 44 yards. Wind not a factor, really. In fact, it's at his back right now, but not blowing terribly hard. Placed down by Andy Lee. Kick is up, sailing left, and no good. Just left of the upright for Phil Dawson. So a nice drive by Tolzien, but it ends on a sour note for the 49ers new kicker, Phil Dawson, as San Francisco hits the locker room, trailing the Denver Broncos 7-3. And the 49ers score that field goal on the opening drive by Colin Kaepernick. Let's go downstairs to Vern Glenn.
All right, guys, Coach, moving forward, what is your biggest concern after a couple of quarters?
Turnovers right now. We're not protecting the football. Gotten loose with it, and the ball handling, and really 3 fumbles, 1 interception.
As a former quarterback yourself, what words of encouragement do you give your 2 backup quarterbacks?
What's the encouragement? I just keep playing, just competing like maniacs.
All right, Coach, thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, guys, upstairs. Those are the insights of Jim Harbaugh on Tolzien and Colt McCoy.
Okay, Vern, thank you very much. San Francisco trailing the Denver Broncos 7-3. The Broncos touchdown coming on the turnover by the 49ers offense. Stay tuned for our Toyota halftime show after this.
This is a KPIX5 Sports special presentation. The 2012 San Francisco 49ers traveled a journey that both ignited their faithful and raised expectations for what they believe is a group destined for greatness.
We're just eager to get back on the football field and show that we are the best team in the National Football League.
And as the gridiron awakens once again, there is but one goal.
I want to go out this season and change what happened, so I can put that behind me.
Tonight, the quest for a 6th ring begins in the final season at Candlestick. 49ers football, right now on KPIX 5.
The San Francisco 49ers moved to Candlestick Park in 1971. Eventually, the stadium became the stage for a football dynasty known as the team of the 80s. Now, the final curtain call has arrived for Candlestick, and what better way to close her down than a return trip to the Super Bowl. Tonight, the San Francisco 49ers kick off the 2013 season against Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos. Good evening, everybody. Alongside Jim Ryan, I'm Dennis O'Donnell. What did he do in his first year as head coach, Jim? Jim Harbaugh took the 49ers to the NFC Championship. Last season to the Super Bowl. There's only one thing left for an encore.
Yeah, we know what that is. A Lombardi Trophy, a party with a Lombardi Trophy in New Jersey at Super Bowl 48. As we both know, Dennis, there's real obstacles in the way. I think number one, get through training camp and the preseason healthy. We know how tough the NFC West is in terms of the division. And then when you look at the schedule of this 49er football team, when football's for real, 4 of the first 5 opponents were playoff teams from 2012.
Okay, if you look at last year, at this time last year, Alex Smith was the starting quarterback. Within 2 months, Colin Kaepernick became the hottest name in football. So hot, you can't keep his jersey on the shelf right now.
Well, and he's just going to get better. He had a whole offseason to watch himself in this offense. And so from the neck up, they've been so happy with his mental development. We know he defies X's and O's athletically. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's faster. And when I say defy X's and O's, everything doesn't have to be right offensively for him to be able to gash it with a big play. So obvious expectations are he's going to have a big season.
As for the Capper himself, he says he still has more to prove.
To me, go out and play well, perform well, execute, just show I have a complete understanding of the offense and complete control over it. I want to go out and make sure that going into the season, my teammates have confidence, I feel confident, and the coaches feel confident that going into week 1, we're ready to roll.
Okay, the bad news is the 49ers lose Michael Crabtree. This is a pretty good replacement, Tim.
Well, he's a different player than Michael Crabtree. Anquan Bolden does most of his work in between the numbers. So I think he is the guy. You know, he's 1A, Vernon's 2A, if you want to talk about Vernon Davis. Marlon Moore, I think, has had a surprising camp. He's going to get the start tonight. They got him in free agency from Miami. But in a perfect world, I'm telling you, they want A.J. Jenkins, last year's first-round pick, to step it up. He needs confidence. Dennis, I bet you by the end of the preseason, you're going to see that guy in year number 2 targeted probably 30 times, maybe 40 times, so they can force feed his confidence, get him the football, and get him right from the neck up.
Okay, on the defensive side of the ball, Deshaun Goldson leaves via free agency. Gulliver goes down with an injury. There is some breaking news that Eric Wright has been signed today by San Francisco.
Yeah, and that's gonna help fortify the corner position if he's ready to play. There's still some circumstances surrounding him in terms of question marks, whether or not he's going to be able to go. But again, brilliant move by Trent Baalke. And look at the safeties. I really see one spot up for grabs. I think you look at Darcel McBath, Trenton Robinson, who was only active 3 games last year, and then Michael Thomas, who was on the practice squad. Those guys will be battling for that 5th safety spot. Eric Reed is certainly going to be the guy, the first-round pick to replace Deshaun
Yeah, inevitably
Goldson.
You're going to see number 35 starting at that position. Right now, in his 2nd season, Vern Glenn, and Vern is talking about this game tonight possibly being a preview of the Super Bowl. Vern.
Absolutely, Dennis. 6 months from now, the Super Bowl will be upon us. And wow, what a way to get this season started. The Denver Broncos and number 18, the iconic Peyton Manning, who is going to test this 49er defense really, really early. Speaking of the 49ers and the Broncos, if you take a look at the power rankings by publications, they go 1, 2. So again, Super Bowl preview, well, we'll see. What I do know, this is must-see TV, guys. Let's tee this thing up, and let's go.
Well, if Vern says it, I'm headed to Las Vegas, Tim. I don't know about you. This is the last time I could chat about the Candlestick weather. 58 degrees with winds at 4 miles per hour. New 49er kicker Phil Dawson will get his first look at the challenges that come with kicking here. John Fox led the Denver Broncos to a 13-3 record last year and the number 1 seed in the AFC, but was upset by the Baltimore Ravens, who eventually beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl. You don't have to remind Jim Harbaugh of that. He told us yesterday that he's extremely excited about this preseason because of all the competition that's going on this football team. But let's face it, Tim, it's also a chance to turn the page on last season and start anew. It's time now to check out our 4 keys to the game.
Well, I think huge for every coach and every player is to get through the preseason and stay healthy. And that's always a challenge for sure. And then I think on top of that, if you're Trent Baalke and you're Jim Harbaugh, you keep the best 53. You know, typically there's a certain number of spaces allotted per position. I'm not so sure about this team. It's about the best 53 players. The evaluation has clearly begun. And then the passing game has got to improve offensively. We know how good the run game is, the volume of the run game, the variety of the run game. Colin Kaepernick, and now the question marks at wide receiver when you get past the first couple of guys, to me is something we're going to want to keep our eyes on throughout this preseason.
And you heard Colin in the pregame show, Tim. I think it's a taste you just want to get out of your mouth, and it's symbolic of the first preseason game that it begins the season anew.
Well, and the way it ended, I mean, it wasn't like it was a blowout. They were one play away from the 6th World Championship for the 49ers. So today could not come fast enough for these 49er players and coaches, and you could almost say the same thing for the Broncos, who were so disappointed in the divisional playoff against Baltimore.
Matt Prater kicks it off, and it'll be taken by Dixon at the 5-yard line. So we're underway. Dixon gets up to about the 24-yard line, and that is where the 49ers will start with the football. So Colin Kaepernick, in his 3rd season with San Francisco, took over the reins from Alex Smith, started 7 games, 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, a rating of 98.3. He also ran for 415 yards and 5 touchdowns. He fumbled 9 times, Kim, but he only lost 2. And they start off with LaMichael James in the backfield for the 49ers. Nice spin move, got near the 29-yard line. Let's take a look at the 49ers offense.
LaMichael James getting the start today. Invaluable experience last year, especially in the playoffs for the 2nd-year pro. Vernon Davis, what a great training camp he's had. Can't wait to see him doing multiple things for this offense. We know about Bolden. And then Kilgore getting the start today for Jonathan Goodwin in year number 3, the 5th-round pick. They love him. There could be a real battle there for the starting center spot.
Kaepernick rolls out, throws it complete to Vernon Davis. Out near the 40-yard line. First down for San Francisco. Pushed out by Steven Johnson. So a first down for the 49ers, a gain of 11 yards.
So much of what the 49ers do, Dennis, offensively is about misdirection. Vernon Davis, all the way from the left side of the formation. Von Miller, of course, playing outside linebacker, sees the run action going away. He squeezes down. And if you give Vernon a step in terms of misdirection, he's going to run away from guys. Nice first down.
Anquan Bolden at the top of your screen. A.J. Jenkins at the bottom of your screen on first down at the 46-yard line. And they hands it out. That's it. LaMichael James hit hard at the 46-yard line. That was Duke Iheanacho with the tackle. Let's take a look at the Denver defense.
They are a load inside with Kevin Vickerson and Terrence Knight. And Robert Ayers, first-round pick a couple of years ago, will be asked to do more, especially if Von Miller, who's got a looming suspension, is not available when it's real. And then, of course, they are loaded back in the secondary. Rogers Cromartie will not play tonight. He's in the lineup there, but he is out with an ankle injury.
Champ Bailey in his 15th year, Tim. Pick up a 5-yard, 2nd down and 5. Kaepernick the pass, has time, throws, and it's complete. And it's Anquan Bolden making his first reception as a 49er inside the 45-yard line of Denver. Stuart Bradley makes the tackle for Denver.
Dennis, this cat, we all know, the MVP of the Baltimore Ravens through the playoffs last year. I could not believe he was available. And this is what he does best, as I said in the open. In between the numbers, he's just going to settle down. And Colin Kaepernick, clearly his first read, an open Bolden throws a laser.
Whole expression, if you can't beat him, sign him. And it's LaMichael James, another nice hole. He gets inside the 40-yard line to about the 39. And the 49ers effectively moving the football. Pick up a 5. Wesley Woodyard make the tackle for Denver.
I think LaMichael James is in store for a big year. Gore is not playing tonight. He's not hurt. He's just getting the rest for the all-time leading rusher. But this guy right here, and Kendall Hunter, I do expect him to be ready to go. These guys have been an absolute blessing for Frank Gore late here in his career, giving him a blow in the games.
Bruce Miller, the tight end at the top of the screen. Vernon Davis in the slot. 49ers 4 receivers here on 2nd down and 4. Kaepernick, again, great protection, and he throws. And nice coverage there, but it is complete to Anquan Bolden, and that is very close to first down yardage.
That's a good definition of what Anquan Bolden will do all year long. He redefines open. It's pretty good coverage on him on this crossing route or this little out route. Look at the defenders in good shape. Colin Kaepernick, if he looks covered, that being Anquan Bolden, you still got to deliver the mail and throw him the football. He is just such a beast, Dennis, in terms of his strength. Even when he's covered, he's going to go grab and pluck the football.
McDonald's tight end in motion on first down for the 49ers, and LaMichael James got room to the outside. He gets there inside the 30 and near more first down yardage just outside the 25-yard line. Pickup of 9 yards. Chet Bailey forces him out of bounds.
Instant acceleration for LaMichael James, and you can see it. Von Miller's in good shape. Yapati's trying to block him. He's got his outside shoulder free. You got no chance when LaMichael James puts his foot on the gas pedal.
Well, Kaepernick obviously no problem establishing an early relationship with Anquan Bolden. Bottom of your screen, A.J. Jenkins at the top, Vernon Davis, the tight end in motion. Not much going there. That's the first time the 49ers actually stopped. Malik Jackson makes the tackle. But DJ Harper with his first carry for the 49ers. Harper's an undrafted rookie free agent out of Boise State.
Third down, one area. I mentioned the passing game. Third down, another area where offensively they've got to get better. 25th out of 32 teams in the NFL last year converting here on the money down.
And Denver, one of the best in the NFL at stopping third down conversions. Bruce Miller in the backfield with Kaepernick. And there's the danger of the 49er quarterback. I don't know if you want him to do that too much in the preseason, Tim, but he gets the first down at the 20-yard line.
Partly what makes Colin Kaepernick so effective, Dennis, is when you want to play man coverage against this offense, and Denver was there, Colin Kaepernick sees it right away. If nobody flashes open quick, he's just going to tuck it and run and pick up a first down.
So a very impressive opening drive for the 49ers.
You turn your back on Colin Kaepernick as a man defender, and he's going to gash you with his legs.
Moore and Hall, the receivers, and it's Miller, the fullback, takes the carry, no gain. And it'll be second down to 10.
You saw Stuart Bradley there on the tackle for the Denver Broncos defense. They got a real battle going on at middle linebacker for sure. And Joe Mays is gone, who's been there for a while. Keith Brooking, who played a lot last year, the longtime pro, is gone. So they're looking at Stuart Bradley, Nate Irving, and a few other guys to try to separate themselves as the middle linebacker for this Bronco defense.
Marlon Moore, the receiver in motion on second down at 10. It looked like Anthony Davis moved too soon.
Full start. Number 76, offense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Mistake by the 49ers.
Certainly no excuse at home. Right tackle Anthony Davis. It's not like the crowd's going crazy. He just jumped early.
Tell you what, though, he has improved immensely in his third year with the 49ers. 6'5", 323 out of Rutgers. It's been tremendous growth from both he and Mike Yapati.
Yeah, watch this block. Wow.
There you go. Well, Michael James falls down. He'll lose yard. He's back at the 26-yard line.
It almost looked like LaMichael James' vision right there, and that's one area where they said he's really improved. Should have cut that back up inside. And let's just watch as we see what the decision-making is here for LaMichael James. There's the kick-out block. There was a defender right there the whole way. There was nothing. That was not well blocked.
So it'll be third down and 16 now for the 49ers. Chad Hall at the bottom of your screen. That's Marlon Moore at the top. In the slot is Anquan Bolden. James in the backfield with Kaepernick. This time they got by Anthony Davis and thrown and complete. Moore has the football at the 14-yard line, shy of the first down, so it'll bring up fourth down, but nice improvisation by Kaepernick.
That's what I was talking about early, Dennis, is defying X's and O's. Von Miller's going to go right inside Anthony Davis with a spin move. 9 times out of 10, when Von Miller beats a guy that quick, he's going to get on your quarterback. He's going to finish. It's just Colin Kaepernick's athletic ability to get outside and pick up some yards and really make something out of nothing.
So it'll be a field goal attempt by Phil Dawson. The holder will be Andy Lee. Attempt 32-yard attempt for the 49ers' new kicker. No problem with this candlestick win. So the 49ers, look at the time that they chewed up on that clock. 7:53 left to go in the first quarter. The 49ers march down and settle for 3.
With hot
13 plays, 62 yards, 7 minutes and 7 seconds. And capped off by Phil Dawson's debut as a 49er from 32 yards out.
And he is going to be a big upgrade, I think, of David Akers. Dawson, I mean, you look at him in Cleveland over the last several years. He's been around a long time. Very accurate, and he's got the leg to go the distance. I mean, David had certainly some good years and had a great career here in the 2000s for David Akers. But David always seemed like the guy to me, Dennis. I don't know about you. When things were going great from a confidence standpoint, he was great. As soon as that health started to fail a little bit last year, mentally, he didn't seem like the same guy. This guy here is almost bulletproof when you talk about Phil Dawson.
Well, that's what the 49ers have been able to do, Tim. Identify some weaknesses on offense, defense, or special teams. I think they really put an emphasis this offseason on special teams. So Denver about to get the football. Trenton Holiday joined the Broncos last October, and what an addition he was. That ball kicked deep into the end zone, and look at Holiday go across the 20 to 25-yard line. Thomas drags him down at the 26-yard line, and there's a timeout on the field. 7:46 left to go. Here comes Peyton Manning. And here we go. Get ready for a no-huddle offense. Peyton Manning, 16th year out of Tennessee, and despite all the fears, Tim, about his neck and the Broncos taking on a huge risk, he had a monstrous year last year. 13-3 record for Denver, a lot because of that man. And it's complete. Thomas across the 30 to 32-yard line, tackled by Michael Wilhoit.
Well, this will be really up-tempo. They're not substituting, so they're keeping their 3 wide receiver group on the field. And as soon as the referee gets that ball spotted, as Bill Levy does there, they get back to their position. Peyton Manning will snap it and go.
6-yard gain, 2nd down and 4. Hillman trying to win the starting job, gets a first down. He was tackled by Craig Dahl, the new 49er safety. First down, Denver.
This is a nice challenge for the 49ers. This is a situation when you talk about the preseason, you can't draw it up. I mean, work on the no-huddle stuff defensively. I've always said this, the no-huddle offense, hurry up like this, is the biggest test for anybody in the NFL in terms of the defensive line.
And it's Hillman again, and he gets to the 40-yard line, and he picks up 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Well, Dante Whitner, in the meeting with the 49ers yesterday, Tim, he pointed that out. This is an area where he thought the 49ers needed improvement.
And really what it does is it takes the coordinator right out of the game. He's got to put it on his players in terms of preparation. Craig Dahl and Dante Whitner along with Navarro Bowman. Right now it's them against Peyton Manning in terms of mental.
And the quick pass to Thomas again, his 2nd reception, across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Dante Whitner there. But Peyton Manning became just the 2nd player in NFL history to throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns in 4 straight games, Tim.
And 37 touchdowns, 11 interceptions last year, Dennis, with a pop gun arm. I talked to Peyton before the game. The arm is stronger. I talked to the receivers. They said the ball's coming in hotter. The rest did him well.
First down at 10, fake. And a deep ball to Thomas, and well covered there by Tremaine Brock. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10. I was mentioning it's only the 2nd player in NFL history to throw at least 303 touchdowns in 4 straight games. You know who the other one is?
No idea.
That would be Steve Young. Pretty good company right there. Hillman, the ball carrier. Nice job up on making the hit there, Ahmad Brooks.
A nice job front side, and then Aldon Smith from the right outside linebacker spot just flying down the line of scrimmage. You're not worried about Peyton Manning taking this thing on a bootleg outside, so as a defensive end man on the line of scrimmage, you can sell out to get on the running back. Nice job by Aldon.
Pick up a 1, 2nd down and 9. Clock running, 5:27 left to go first quarter. 49ers lead 3-0 on an opening drive. Shoot up 7 minutes. They got a field goal out of it. Manning now has the Broncos on the move, and he's hit under pressure, incomplete.
Ryan Clady is not playing at left tackle for the Denver Broncos. He's still out. There is a backup against the best pass rusher in the NFL in my mind, and Aldon Smith. Watch the power of Aldon Smith with the bull rush. I mean, he starts out by jacking the left tackle and then gets his shoulder pads down, gets to the edge, and certainly had an impact on Peyton Manning on that incompletion.
Britton Colquitt will punt to LaMichael James, standing at the 10-yard line for San Francisco. So nice job defensively by the 49ers. And Denver able to down it inside the 5-yard line, mark it about the 2. So a 50-yard punt. And Colquitt traps the 49ers deep in their own territory. Welcome back, everybody, to Candlestick Park in San Francisco. The 49ers lead the Denver Broncos 3-0 in our preseason opener here on KPIX 5. Glad you could join us. Tim Ryan, Dennis O'Donnell, Vern Glenn down on the field. And there's the 49ers' new quarterback, Colt McCoy, in his 4th year out of Texas. In 3 years with Cleveland, started 21 games, threw 4,368 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 20 interceptions. And learning his 4th offensive system in 4 years in the NFL. 49ers fake the reverse, not much. Anthony Dixon is in the game at running back for San Francisco.
And you talk about the backup quarterback position here with Colt McCoy. I mean, there's a big question mark, Dennis. I think there's a real battle with Scott Tolzien. I really do. I think Tolzien's got the advantage in terms of knowing the offense. You talked about Colt trying to just learn another system. I mean, look, last year they really had 2 starters with Alex and Colin Kaepernick. Be a lot of pressure and a lot of question marks on who the second's going to be.
Anthony Dixon once again. Anthony Dixon is always the preseason workhorse, or has been the last couple of years. Gets up to about the 7-yard line. He had to battle to make a roster spot last year, Tim, and might be the case again. Kendall Hunter is going to return soon, and LaMichael James and Jewel Hampton. Dixon is going to have to prove his worth, and he's done a great job on special teams.
Well, that's what gets him the roster spot, in my opinion, and his versatility, Dennis. I mean, he plays fullback, he can play tailback, he can do a lot of different things to bring value to this football team and help him maximize the roster.
And nearly bobbled, and he lost the football. It looked like the 49ers got it back. LaMichael James was back in the game for the 49ers, but it looked like a bad handoff between Colt McCoy and LaMichael James. And it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, nice bounce here, because LaMichael James ends up, it didn't seem like there was anything wrong with the handoff. Maybe a little bit high. LaMichael never had it. And then fortunately, as that ball bounced around, he ended up with it. That would have been a brutal place for a turnover, obviously inside your own 10-yard line.
Brendan Holiday will be standing near midfield with Andy Lee. No punt. Andy Lee, obviously one of the positions that Brad Seeley does not have to worry about. He takes it at the 45 and goes out at about the 46-yard line. And there's a timeout. 3:11 left to go in the first quarter. 3-0 San Francisco. 49ers leading, and Peyton Manning got a little cup of coffee, as did Colin Kaepernick. But now it's Brock Osweiler in at quarterback for Denver. 6'8", 240-pound second-year quarterback out of Arizona State.
Maybe the most improved player on this Denver roster from year 1 to year 2. Talking to John Fox, Osweiler has had a tremendous training camp.
Yeah, John Elway says he is the future of this franchise. A good field position for him to start. Play action. Rolls out, and it's complete. Pushed out of bounds by Tremaine Brock, but it's complete to Caldwell there. Andre Caldwell making the reception, picked up 9 yards.
Well, he missed one out to his left. He's looking there, but the tight end just ran right by Dan Skuta, who was walked out covering the slot tight end. Osweiler could have had him for an easy one. He ended up getting the completion to the right side instead.
And the first down. He said it'd pick up 10. So first down for Denver. Ball at the 43-yard line. Osweiler hands it off. Hellman, ball carrier, gets to the outside. There's a flag down, and he's knocked out of bounds. Nnamdi Asomugha made the tackle for the 49ers.
Yeah, they're going to end up getting holding.
Holding. Number 66 offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Manny Ramirez, the starting center now. Denver has had issues at the center position, and Ian Williams, what a great job in terms of penetration. You look at Ian Williams, he is going to be counted on heavily, Dennis, to fill the void with Ricky Jean-Francois and Isaac Sapuaga moving on in free agency. they're excited about this cat on the early downs in terms of a run defender. Good job there getting penetration.
We met with him yesterday too, Tim, and he was undrafted out of Notre Dame, and I asked him about that. He says it's the best thing that ever happened to him. It's the reason now that he is the starting nose tackle for San Francisco, or has a chance to be. Osweiler flushed out now, and he gets out near midfield.
Well, I think the best thing that happened to Ian Williams was being in that defensive line meeting room with Justin Smith and Ray McDonald and all of those veterans, and Jimmy Tomsula, the defensive line coach. But this guy absolutely in the weight room is a beast, and you'd say the same thing about Justin Smith and Ray McDonald. These guys are all close to 500 pounds in the bench press, 700-pound squat, and Ian Williams is right with him. And
Willis gave him a huge endorsement, saying how well he's doing at holding the point. The ball's complete to the 44-yard line. Green makes the catch. Michael Wilhoit in there on a pickup of 6 yards for Denver. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, you talk about holding the point. It's instrumental for a nose tackle in a 3-4 defense. 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers. He's got to be a space eater, Dennis. He's got to keep that inside linebacker clean. Ian Williams can certainly do that.
3rd down and 12. 1:22 left to go in the first quarter. Osweiler throws, and it is thrown high. And Asamoah comes up and makes the nice tackle on Robinson, and it'll bring up 4th down.
You see a little route concept out here. They're going to run the outside guy inside, little crossing route. It's zone coverage. It's perfect for Nnamdi Asamoah, who's just sitting out there in the deep flat. He sees it and comes up and lights up the receiver. Nice tackle.
Yeah, I think Asamoah has to have a good preseason too, Tim. I don't think there are any guarantees for the former Raider cornerback.
Well, what is the Eric Wright signing? Did they tell you about that?
Exactly.
He's definitely up against it, and he's going to have to battle to make this roster.
Well, Michael James back deep to receive. The punt from Colquitt. And this time they're trying to do it instead of one time, and this time it'll go into the end zone, and the 49ers will have the ball at the 20-yard line. 27 seconds left to go in the first quarter. 49ers leading 3-0. Welcome back, everybody. 3-0. The 49ers leading over the Denver Broncos. Colt McCoy at quarterback for San Francisco, 4th year. And I think he had some mixed results in Cleveland.
Well, they weren't good to him in terms of the fans, especially after James Harrison of the Steelers absolutely lit him up. Everyone lost confidence in him. Played a lot of big-time ball at Texas. I just hope here now with San Francisco he can mentally relax, Dennis, and just go play football and not try to be perfect.
Now Michael James picks up a couple of yards. He's tackled by Stuart Bradley, but he did have some zone replays at the University of Texas, so he's not totally unfamiliar with what the 49ers are doing.
No, he's got the skill set. He is an underrated runner in terms of being able to run some of these quarterback running plays that this offense will ask the QB to do. I just think it's more than anything about confidence and not trying to be perfect. Colt McCoy's the kind of guy who's trying to learn a new system, which is complicated, and he's trying to be perfect at the same time. He just got to go let it go. Think 6th grade recess. Go play football.
Yeah, well, you said the new system. 4 systems in 4 years for Colt McCoy. That's the end of the first quarter here at Candlestick Park. The 49ers on their opening drive down for a field goal, and they lead 3-0. Shepler was the man in motion for the 49ers, and they got flagged. Undrafted rookie fullback out of Northern Illinois.
I like the fact they're giving Tolzien all these reps, to be honest with you. I'm not so sure Colt McCoy is 100% right. I think he may have gotten dinged, and I'm speculating, but in that first half, he got hit in the head, I thought, pretty good.
Yeah, I think on that turnover that resulted in the touchdown. The first down at 15 now from the 45-yard line, and Anthony Dixon has a nice hole up the middle. A lot of running room, look out. Inside the 40, the 30, the 20, and there's a flag way back at the line of scrimmage.
And it's coming back. This is holding. What a shame. What a shame. I think it's going to be Looney that ends up getting the hold. He lost his helmet at the same time. A lot of helmets flying off here. We'll see who the penalty's on. think Bill Levy did make the call, but we never heard him. His mic didn't work. I'll tell you one thing. Stepler, the number 45, the rookie fullback, what a dominating block. He absolutely decleated his player. And I'll tell you, Joe Looney, not active at all last year. Last year's 4th-round pick. Dennis, he's going to have a good training camp to prove that he belongs.
He's in the game now. Ball at the 35-yard line. 49ers just going backwards now. Dixon makes a quick reception, but tackled immediately by Nate Irving. So the Niners had the ball, Tim, at midfield on 1st down. They committed back-to-back penalties, and
well, the offense has been sloppy, and the turnovers in particular. But I'm interested in really seeing who the 8th offensive lineman is going to be if, in fact, they only keep 8, the 49ers. I do believe Adam Snyder's going to make it. No question Daniel Kilgore's going to make it. That's 7. Who's the 8th?
Jacobs, Colley at the top of your screen. He's looking for Colley. Now Tolzien's going to take it and run with it and gets to the 44-yard line. And brought there by Romney Funga.
And they would love for Looney, Dennis, to be that guy. I mean, you draft a guy in the 4th round, you expect him to come through for you. Frankly, Looney last year, he didn't do anything. No contributions to this football team. He's got to step it up.
Yeah, it was a 4th-round pick out of Wake Forest. And Niners had Michael James productive, I think, in last year's draft. But outside of that, it was a rough draft in terms of production. Still waiting to see from A.J. Jenkins. Tolzien on 3rd, throws, and it is incomplete. Let's see if they throw a flag for a hit on Lockett there as Hester went up high.
Absolutely. Nice throw from Tolzien on the outcut, and it looked like he got up in the arms.
Pass interference, number 40, defense, 1st down, spot of the foul.
I mean, you can just tell Tolzien knows right where he's going with the ball. I'm not so sure. I mean, that looked good on the front side. I wonder if he had his hand wrapped around the lower body of Lockett, which materially affected his chances of going and getting the football.
So suddenly it's a game of penalties, and the 49ers result in a 1st down, and there's Dixon down to the 30-yard line, and that should be close enough to move the chains once again. So the Niners start the drive at the 50, and they end up at the 35-yard line, and as a result of the penalty now, they got the ball all the way down to the 30-yard line.
Well, that's 233 pounds of knee pads and shoulder pads for Anthony Dixon. You know, people forget when he came out of college, this guy led the SEC in rushing. That's a tall order. You can see right there, he's carried the rock a lot in terms of his vision. He knew right where to go. He saw the crease up inside.
Lockett, the receiver, top of the screen. Jacobs at the bottom. Austin Colley, the man in motion. Tolzien under pressure, and he throws, and it's Dixon. I think he was looking for a lead blocker, but he decided to go on his own down to the 22-yard line. He picks up 8 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 2.
Very nice game for Anthony Dixon, and at times, Dennis, he's been his own best blocker. You said waiting for a block. Guys have been dripping off of him just about every time he touches the football.
Well, it looks like he's looking for Tribune out here to be a lead blocker, but Tribune's behind him. Whatever the case, it picks up 8 yards, and under the 12-minute mark left to go, the 49ers trying to add to that first drive field goal. They have not scored since.
And here's what they love to do, those big, heavy tight end sets.
Now Dixon, another hole, cuts inside, down just outside the 10-yard line, and there's a flag again.
Yeah, they're going to get holding, I think, to the left side.
Number 71 offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
Well, that's Carter Bykowski, the rookie tackle out of Iowa State.
And here he is. You see the left hand outside the shoulder pad. They're not going to. The officials aren't going to miss that, especially when it's right at the point of attack where the run's going.
Big guy at 6'7". The ball moves back to the 32-yard line. 2nd down and 12. Lockett, the receiver, to the bottom. Jacobs on top. Play action. Tolzien now under pressure, escapes, and he's going to run with it down to the 30-yard line. Holmes and Johnson in on the tackle there. From our San Francisco viewers, for our San Francisco viewers, folks, a programming note that tonight's new episode of Big Brother will air at 10 p.m. on KPIX 5. So Big Brother will air at 10 p.m. on KPIX 5. 3rd down and 10. Tolzien throws it, and it's incomplete. Lockett was trying to get inside, and the penalty is going to be called on Mario Butler. Lockett was trying to cut inside on a slant route, and he might have been held.
Yeah, he was held by Mario Butler.
Pass interference, number 29 defense. 1st down, spot of the foul.
And you cannot hold a receiver and not let him get into his lane, and you can see right there, he really sold it hard to the outside, stuck his foot in the ground, came back inside, and the corner really had no chance, Butler, other than to have contact with the receiver when the ball was in the air to try to cut him off for the easy completion.
So once again, by virtue of a penalty, the 49ers have a 1st down. They've got 4 receivers in the game now, and a quick out, and it's Chuck Jacobs, and Jacobs gets about 5 yards down to the 20-yard line. He had McDonald as a blocker there. And it'll be 2nd down.
I like seeing Vance McDonald out there leading the way. People forget, just looking at this guy, he looks long. He's heavy now. He's definitely got some size to him. Quick little wide receiver screen out on the perimeter. Pancake for McDonald, knocking that defender down.
Yeah, looked terrific in practice the other day, Tim. That guy looks like a keeper.
He's wearing Mike Ditka's number.
Yes, he is. We asked Jim Harbaugh about that because Harbaugh had made a comparison.
I love what he said to you. Old story, Dennis. Old story.
Incomplete. McDonald, the intended receiver there. Johnson on the coverage. Yeah, he didn't want to go there.
That's pretty neat, Coach. Tell us about giving giving McDonald Coach Ditka's number. Old story, Dennis.
Yeah, that's an old story.
He is such a grinder.
You know, he proposed to his fiance, not Harbaugh, but Vance McDonald on the Golden Gate Bridge. Did you know that? Yeah. Now that's a new story. 3rd down and 4. Tolzien throws on the slant, and it's incomplete. That's Lavelle Hawkins, the man out of Cal, and incomplete. Hester on the coverage there, and that'll bring up 4th down, and Dawson will come into the game to attempt a field goal.
You got to hang on to this if you're Hawkins. Well thrown from Tolzien. Again, low, down inside, well thrown football. Hawkins has got to hold on to it for the 1st down, especially when you get down here inside the red zone.
Yeah, he was signed last week by the 49ers after being released by New England, 5-year veteran. 38-yard attempt for Phil Dawson. He's made one, he's missed one. He missed one from 44, made one from 32. And it's good. Inside the left upright this time, and the 49ers are within a point at 7-6, just under 10 minutes left to go in the game.
This is 6'2", close to 230 pounds. I mean, you can see physically this guy passes the eyeball test. He's just so raw, Dennis. He was on Seattle's practice squad. They were calling him the Rocket. They had high hopes for him. Fort Valley State, small school kid. Where is Fort Valley State, by the way? You have any idea? I don't.
Well, he's Kaepernick's roommate, too. Did you know that? Worked in the offseason with the 49ers quarterback. But just 2 receptions and 44 yards. And look out, this is a game changer, Holiday, and he can do it, dragged down at the 40-yard line. Smith able to save the day.
That dude can run.
41-yard return.
Watch the kicker here, Colton Schmidt. And he's got some wheels now. I'm telling you, Trendon Holiday is high octane and can absolutely run. And he pulls him down from behind, and at the same time avoids the horse collar. Looks like he had his hand in the back.
Exactly,
you can see him talking about it right there, but you got to rip him all the way to the ground and hang on to the collar. It looked like his hand started inside the collar, and then it came down. It's well done. Probably saved 6 points.
Yeah, local product. Just up by 80 there, UC Davis. New quarterback, Zach Dysert now takes over the controls for the Denver Broncos. And it's complete. Near midfield, and that's the first reception. The gain of 7 yards.
Saw this guy at the Senior Bowl, Zach Dysert, Miami of Ohio, 3-time captain. And one thing I remember watching him there is he's got a very, very good deep ball. He can drive the ball deep with a high success rate.
Pickup of 8 yards, 2nd down and 2. Anderson will get close to the first down. Let's go downstairs to Vern Glenn with an injury update. Vern.
Yeah, we have 3 injuries in the game so far. Colt McCoy injured throwing shoulder, Bubba Ventrone with a hamstring, and Nick Moody, who was carted off with the injured left knee.
Yeah, I knew Colt McCoy, Dennis, wasn't right.
Yeah, it happened on that rush when the 49ers turned it over for a touchdown. So they get the first down. Des Anderson for the Broncos in 49er territory. He's got the football again. Got to be impressed with this guy, Tim. I mean, he's pushing, even when there doesn't appear to be daylight, he's pushing his way ahead for 3-4 yards. Scooter makes a tackle for the 49ers.
And he's a load now. I think everybody, if you looked at this roster on the outside looking in, you'd say Monty Ball, Ronnie Hillman, they'll be in a battle for the starting job. Noshawn Marino certainly is going to end up being the third back. And then you'd say Lance Ball has the best chance to make the team as the other running back. C.J. Anderson's making a big case for himself tonight, the rookie.
And Anderson again. And this time a nice job by the Stanford band coming up to make the tackle. You know, he was, Michael Thomas was among, Tim, the final cuts in last preseason. Then he signed to the practice squad where he spent the entire season. He can play nickel along with safety. He's not a big guy at 5'10", but that's another smart football player.
And I think one way they've been using him, Dennis, is when they get into the big nickel, 3 safety stuff. He actually comes down and plays the linebacker position inside the box over on the strong side. He's had a nice camp.
Dysart on 3rd and 4, able to get it off, and he gets the first down. Nice job by the young quarterback as he completes it to Hester. Parrish Cock gets him out of bounds, but nice job by Dysart. A gain of 5 yards.
Yeah, this is a busted coverage. I mean, there's no way that Jacob Hester on 3rd down should be that open across the sticks for the easy first down. Somebody got caught sleeping defensively.
Dysart, a rookie quarterback out of Miami, 6'3", 221, 7th round pick. He was the 9th quarterback taken in the draft. Passed for 12,000 yards in college. Under pressure, and he dumps it off. Nice job to get rid of it. Not much of a gain there.
You know, guys are trying so hard to make this football team and have an impact that you really, sometimes, Dennis, you paralyze yourself. I mean, Stupar, he's right in there. Go make the play. He takes the bait on the run game. Now the quarterback getting outside and they end up with a minimal gain. But at the end of the day, Stupar could have made a big play, and he didn't.
Exactly. Instead, they gained 2 yards.
There's so many guys, and there's so much pressure trying to make it. I've seen so many guys try themselves right out of pro football because they constrict themselves from just going and having fun and making plays. They're trying to be perfect.
Anderson tried to get to the outside, and 49ers, Scooter had him in his arms, and he got away.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's so many guys that are guilty of just trying to be perfect and do everything right. You'd be surprised how many guys end up making plays that are out of position and did not fulfill their assignment, but they're just making plays.
Right. Tim, it isn't true, though, if you're a free agent, that you have to make, you've got to make more risks to make a play than perhaps if you're a 1st or 2nd or 3rd round pick.
And taking more risk is at times not always by the book.
3rd down and 6. That's a handoff to Anderson, and Anderson is going to get the first down. He broke another couple of tackles. Parrish Cox finally forced him, and then Scooter pushes him out of bounds, but the local guy gets a first down again, a gain of 11 yards.
It looked like he just freight trained Purcell up on the inside. Let's watch 64. Oh, he's getting blocked at the same time. Anderson's a load now at 225 pounds.
I don't think he's a virtual unknown anymore, as the writer called him. Make a nice impact. And if you look at the history of the Denver Broncos, a lot of guys were great running backs there, were low round draft picks. This time Wilhoit comes up and makes the nice tackle on Anderson. Under 5 minutes to go now. The Broncos leading the 49ers 7-6 and threatening for more. Ball just outside the 20. It'll be 2nd down and 9, a gain of 1.
And nice job there by Will Hoyt. They're about 6 inches out of the red zone here, and that's an area 49ers defensively. They were so good in so many categories, and certainly one of the best defenses in pro football. But the red zone, Dennis, was not their forte last year when you talk about the starters in the first group.
Bateman at the top of your screen, King on the bottom on second down. It is Anderson, and Camp Johnson made a nice stop. Line of scrimmage, it'll be up third down.
Yeah, that was Ball running the ball, I believe, that time. And it was, if he wanted the cutback, it was there. Watch the surge here by this side of the offensive line. I mean, he has already made his mind up pre-snap that he's staying front side. And that's what I'm talking about, trying too hard, trying to be perfect, play designed to go to the right. Dennis, if that guy wanted to just open his eyes and cut it back, there was probably 5 or 6 yards waiting for him.
Yeah, you're right. Lance Ball, fifth year out of Maryland. 3.8 average last year. Here it is, third down and 8. 3:17, clock moving.
Comes the pressure.
Writes it under pressure, and down he goes. Got to make plays, right? And Dan Scooter just made one. He did not buy that at all. He stayed home. Saw that Dysart was going to try and run for the first down and makes the play. So a loss of 9 yards.
Well, you got to love this because Scooter, here he is out there, is his awareness. I mean, he sees this the whole way, and that's what you get from a guy who's in his 5th year of pro football. Most of his contributions in Cincinnati came on special teams, but he's been in the pro game, this being his 5th season, and it showed right there.
Come back, everybody. 7-6, 3:08 left to go. The Broncos are setting up to kick a field goal. Matt Prater will attempt a long one as Osweiler standing there. As he can,
well, believe me, they're not setting up to put Peyton Manning back in the game. I think he's just staying warm.
And it's good. So Matt Prater, who converted on just 81 of field goal attempts in 2012, hits a long field goal to extend the Broncos' lead. Welcome back, everybody. And Vern talked about it in the pregame show. Is this a Super Bowl preview, Tim? A lot of people think it is.
Well, quite possibly. I think you look at the NFC, and it's more clouded. I mean, there's a lot of contenders in the NFC, in my opinion. We talked the Packers, the Falcons, and some of the other teams. Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos and his arm being stronger and the nerve healing more, there's no question he's got more zip and velocity on the ball. You add Wes Welker to the group, and maybe an upgrade at running back with Monty Ball. I think Denver is the clear-cut favorite in the AFC.
Yeah, pretty well-balanced teams, both offensively and defensively, too. Denver had 52 sacks, don't forget, Tim, to lead the NFL. That was B.J. Daniels back there to take the kick. The 49ers quarterback was back there with D.J. Harper. He's going to have to be a jack of all trades, Tim, huh?
Yeah, and if he makes this team, it's not going to be as, I mean, the third quarterback will certainly be one of his job descriptions, but I think it's going to be a little bit of everything in terms of a slash player, offensive weapon, athlete. You could see the leg there, the strength by Prater. I was talking to Sebastian Janikowski just at that golf tournament about a month ago up in Lake Tahoe. He said, without question, Prater is going to be the guy that ends up setting the new record for the longest field goal.
He's got 259 yardage so far. D.J. Harper has the football from Tolzien at 21. No gain. Maybe one. So the 49ers trailing 10-6. One last effort here to try and get down and win their first preseason game. Chuck Jacobs top of the screen, and the pass is incomplete. Lavelle Hawkins, the man out of Cal, was the intended receiver. Had to reach out a little bit too far for that one.
And Tolzien hasn't been, you know, unbelievably on the point in terms of his accuracy. He's made some good throws in this game, but one thing you can see, Dennis, right away is his decision making and his comfort level with this offense. He doesn't even need to look to the side of where the receiver is, and he knows by the coverage, pre-snap and post-snap, on what the play is and the concept where he's going with the football. That is so important in terms of his knowledge in this offense. He's got it.
And he'll have third down and 8. Austin Collie in the slot. Chuck Jacobs at the bottom of your screen. Lavelle Hawkins at the top. Tolzien to throw, and he's got Austin Collie, who makes his first reception as a 49er receiver, but he's well short of the first down. It'll bring up 4. And Jim Harbaugh has called a timeout. He may want to talk this over here.
Talk what over? Go get your punter some work. You're sitting inside your own 25-yard line or inside your own 30. Tolzien sees the pressure coming. They're sending more than the 49ers can block. He has to unload it, and it ends up short of the first down by Austin Collie.
Well, Harbaugh's having a conversation over there with Tolzien, and it appears the 49ers are going to go for it on fourth down.
Now, this is interesting and clearly preseason, right?
Yeah, add a little drama, right?
You know what's amazing, and obviously this field location, I don't think he'd ever do this in a real game. Okay. But you look at when he was at Stanford, how many times they did go for it on fourth down when they were across midfield.
Jacobs at the top of the screen, Collie at the slot. He's looking for Collie, and he's got him. Across the 40, a first down. He put that ball right on the money, Tim. Move the chains. The 49ers still alive. A gain of 18 yards on the gamble by Jim Harbaugh.
You got to like that. Confidence booster. Collie's coming from here. They're just going to run a double slant in terms of, or a double seam. You got Vance McDonald going to the inside. Collie also going to the inside. Well done from Tolzien finding him. Good throw.
Tolzien was looking deep that time, and everything collapsed. Mitch Unrein there to take him down, a loss of 8 yards, and we hit the 2-minute warning as the 49ers trail the Denver Broncos 10-6, making one last-ditch effort to win this football game. You don't want to draw too much from the numbers, but some 49ers have made a statement tonight, and I look back to that opening drive when Anquan Bolden immediately develops his relationship with Kaepernick. But the guy I like right now in this series on the field is Austin Collie. I think he has the potential to be an excellent acquisition by the 49ers. So here you go, second down at 18.
And there's Collie right there.
Yep. And now the Niners going backwards again. Well, what you get, Tim, is an experienced, proven, veteran receiver
who played with Peyton Manning for a while. And again, his first 2 years, this cat had 15 touchdowns, 173 catches in his 4 years in pro football. What's really derailed him is the number of concussions, and he's had some big ones. And then last year, I believe it was the patella tendon that he ruptured.
Right. Tolzien throws, and it's complete. Poof.
Look at Vance McDonald.
At the 50-yard line. He is shy of the first down by about 3 yards. He picks up 20 yards. It'll be third down and 2.
I've been impressed watching Scott Tolzien once again. I think we say the same thing every time we watch him in the preseason. He's just a good decision maker, and if given time, he's going to throw some good football.
And he was looking for McDonald again.
Brings up another fourth down opportunity.
The 49ers have just one timeout left. With 1:34 left, they trail 10-6. So here we go on fourth down. Jacobs at the top of your screen, Collie in the slot, and it's Lockett on the bottom.
He's got Vance McDonald if he wants him quick.
And he lost the football, and they're not going to rule it an incomplete pass, apparently. No, it is ruled incomplete, and that'll be the Denver Broncos ball on downs.
Tell you, man coverage out there, if they would have just ran a little crosser out to the right, Vance McDonald would have been wide open for the easy first down. It was the same play they ran earlier. I think Vance McDonald went down the seam. Austin Collie started down the seam and then flipped it around and stopped on the defender, and Tolzien just held on to the ball and obviously got knocked away.
Yeah, he was trying to, I think, might have been trying to do a pump fake there, and the ball just came down, and the Broncos will have it, leading 10-6 with 1:28 left to go in the game. And
defense really across the board. They gave up some runs here, the 2s and 3s to Anderson in the second half, but you give up really 3 points to the Denver Broncos. Pretty good. The only touchdown was a defensive touchdown by Sean Phillips when Nate Irving knocked it out.
No, I think the negative aspect to this game, and Harbaugh pointed out even at halftime quickly with Vern Glenn, was the turnover. Yep. A lot of sloppy football, Tim, but that's you're going to get that obviously in the preseason. But the efficiency of the 49ers first unit, both offensively and defensively, is, I think, exactly what the coaches wanted, and that's what they got.
I am so excited to watch Colin Kaepernick. You know, I was a slow burn in terms of fully subscribing to him.
Yes, you were.
I'm in with both feet now. I don't care about the 10 stars. This guy's going to get better and better and better as he moves forward. As a matter of fact, I think he has been so good in training camp that it has really made the other guys look so bad in terms of McCoy and Tolzien. Tolzien looked good tonight, but I mean, the contrast in the level of play is just night and day from Colin Kaepernick to the other guys.
Command of the offense. You remember, he was not the starting quarterback in camp last year. So
how about the beard he's got working? Yeah. He said, is that a camp beard or are you rolling with it? He says, I don't know yet.
Well,
let that baby go.
His offseason was pretty colorful.
But you know what Dante Whitner said of any distractions, and certainly a distraction with the ESPN the magazine and some of the other things that Colin did. He said if anybody can handle it mentally, it's Colin Kaepernick. This guy is so committed to this football team and his work ethic. I don't think it's a big deal.
At the award show when he pulls up with that jacket and the Jaguar, and
I'll tell you what, if I was built like that, I would have no shirt on right now doing games. He is stacked. And you know who's been good for him? Jeep Chris right there, who's standing next to him, the quarterback coach. Terrific.
So that'll be the final snap of the game as the Denver Broncos come into San Francisco, and there was only one touchdown in the game, and it was scored by the Denver Broncos defense on the turnover, and they run into the end zone. And that's what you get. 10-6, the Denver Broncos win the preseason opener. The 49ers will go on to Kansas City to meet up with Alex Smith, an old friend. And Kaepernick just one series today for the 49ers, as Peyton Manning had one series as well. Both quarterbacks very efficient.
I promise you, Peyton's not happy. They came out in the no huddle. There was no substitution. It was hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. They stayed in the same personnel grouping, the three wide receivers, and ended up having to punt the football away.
But he's taking the game ball there, as you see, Tim.
Now there's two of the best pass rushers in the league right now, without question. Aldon Smith right there with Von Miller.
Well, I think the entire right side of the line there, you know, Justin Smith, and then the outside linebacker Aldon Smith back, and you know, much was made that Aldon depended on Justin Smith, which I think was true, but I don't think Aldon was healthy either.
I'm with you on that. That shoulder was never healthy last year. Everybody's got this perception that, you know, Justin is always freeing Aldon up in terms of that wrap play with him going outside and holding the offensive guard and Aldon coming underneath for the sack. Aldon Smith is so much more than just a wrap player. I mean, he's got power, he's got speed, he's got the total package.
Okay, 10-6 is the final score. We're going to take a commercial break and come back with some post-game interviews in just a moment.